Yeah, this is disheveled little me. This is actually how I look most days of the week. I just throw my hair in a bun, and my hair is totally growing out gray right now. Not to point out all the crazy, but in the background, I do have a candle lit. I light a candle sometimes to help me remember certain people or certain things that are happening and going on in the world today. Somebody near and dear to our family who is in ICU for the coronavirus is who's on my mind today, and that's who the candle's for today. Um, but really, what I wanted to do was I wanted to get out these thoughts that I have around uh, contingency plan C. So today I was on a dry run for a webinar that we're hosting tomorrow. It's actually on six new opportunities within six non-dues revenue opportunities within your AMS. Excuse me. And it's actually like AMS slash business platform, which could be like something built on top of Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics or any one of the AMS players that are on top of that. Well, what happened at the top of our dry run for our webinar today was there is a hostess, and her audio was a little warbly and a little like in and out, and we were using Zoom. And she said, my Zoom audio has been a little wonky lately. Let me log in on my landline. Which, first of all, like, who still has a landline? Oh my gosh. Like, I was like, oh, impressive. Like, landline, right? So she logged in on the audio using her landline, and it was still warbly and still messy. Well, the other speaker that I'm co-speaking with, he actually our audio was coming through clear, but he did say that they were having a big sales team meeting just yesterday, the 23rd of March, and obviously with them all being dispersed in their own home offices, having a sales team meeting takes a little bit time to pull together and make sure everybody has the right time frame to not competing with demos that are still going on and stuff like that, and to jump on a sales call. And you can only imagine, like, this is a critical meeting that probably needs to happen within the technology company. And Zoom crashed and crashed again and crashed again, and they could not do their sales call. They could not connect that way. So what we decided to do on our webinar for tomorrow, that's planned for tomorrow, and we're planning to use Zoom webinar, was to create an additional slide. So if for some reason our audio went funky for tomorrow, we have this slide that we can source. So we'll just go straight to that slide, which sits at the end of our slide deck, and it says, "We are so sorry we can't have this webinar live today, but we have pre-recorded it because we are prepared for this kind of thing to happen. And here's a link to the pre-recorded webinar." So what we proceeded to do for the dry run is record it. And granted, it's not probably as quite as polished and as perfect as it would be for the live that's supposed to be done tomorrow, but at least we had this resource in our holster so that just in case, like a worst case scenario happens tomorrow and our audio doesn't come through for either of us speakers, then we have a slide that we can resource, that we can just say, oh my gosh, like, we were prepared for Zoom to go down, and that's okay because you can still get this content from us. And so we pre-planned on the fly. So let that sink in for just a second. Like, we literally pre-planned tomorrow's webinar, which is free. There's no revenue tied to this or anything like that, but we pre-planned tomorrow's webinar. We recorded it for our dry run today. I'm going ahead and getting a slide prepared just in case that audio doesn't come through. So we plan for tomorrow, less than 24 hours away from the webinar. So here's where this whole conversation comes into play. So it really got me thinking about, like, what the heck? What the heck happens if the internet goes down? I know, that's such a doomsdayist kind of, and that's weird. There's thunder outside just right now when I said that. Oh my God. What happens if the internet goes down, or somehow there is a communication barrier that happens. I literally was just in the last 10 minutes got an email, and the email said something like, communication does not have the coronavirus. Well, guess what, people? Like, if we're already experiencing PlayStation having like serious inner like connective issues, we're having Zoom connective issues. I just got an email from Google saying that they're unlocking their enterprise solutions so that maybe that can help the Zoom situation. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on in behind the scenes in the technology side of that, but like, we might be in a situation, associations, like, listen up, hear what I'm saying, like, very soon. And I am not a doomsday person. I am Pollyanna straight through and through. But based on this call that I had today, I was like, ooh, WTF. What if very soon we don't have a direct line of communication with our members? Think about what ASAE has done for us in the last 3 to 5 days, even. The communications that have gone out to us, like, literally have the copy paste letter that we need to send to our legislature. I did it. Did you do it? I did it. I let my Tennessean government know that associations are important. They need to be part of the benefit of what's happened in this whole in this whole economy and industry. We're the backbone of society, people. So like, what's going to happen if we can't reach our constituents? So it got me to thinking, like, well, what can we really do? What we can do is right now, while we still have connectivity, while we can still communicate, because it doesn't have the virus yet, communication doesn't have the virus yet, while we still can communicate with our association people, with our members, with our boards, with our leadership, like, let's go ahead and get the information on how we can reach these people. Yes, is it private, like where they live, their address? And is it super private, like their mobile number, not their work number? Yes, it is. But guess what? These are our members, and we're not going to be able to help them. And they're not going to be able to ask us for help unless we have a way to be able to reach them. So, what can we do? Like, what can we get from them now while we have the internet still? God, y'all, like, seriously, we need to be thinking about this. And what we're thinking about right now is we're so tied up with, like, how are we going to work from home? What's going to happen when the culture changes and shifts, with people like having their kids work from home and having to multitask with the duties that are going on at home and the multiple people at home, along with like being able to have all the resources to be able to go like stay connected as a team at home. Those are not going to be those are probably not going to be our problems of tomorrow. We're going to be worrying about how to reach our members so that they can help us advocate for our entire industry, so that we can get benefits from the government, so that we can continue to serve them in a meaningful way, so that we can keep entire industries and professions alive. This is heavy. This is super heavy. And so it's just super on my mind right now. And I've been reeling about a passion project ever since the tornado hit on March 3rd. This is my kid's like 4th week out of school. We've been in contingency plan B for 4 weeks now, which is a little bit longer than a lot of other people. A quarter of the mile up the road, half a mile up the road, we have, just turned power on to homes and offices that have been out since the tornado. This is not the Terry that I would normally want to be presented to you. I'd have my hair down, my makeup on, and be physically prepared for you to hear this message, but I couldn't help it. And I've just been like head down, working on some other projects I have going on today, and I just haven't even taken the time. My kids are both home. I haven't taken the time to get myself ready. So here you got this message with me, raw and real like this. So hopefully it helps y'all think a little bit into the future, and hopefully whoever is listening to this can also help me tackle with new ideas and just thought processes on how we can plan for perhaps the next things happening. Thanks, y'all.